Hello and welcome to another episode of Crime Tuck in English. Hope you are liking this initiative from us and enjoying the stories that we are bringing to you. And today I'll take you back to 2006 and 2007 to tell a story which is not known, although it's related to the Nithari killings that had rocked not just India but it grabbed headlines even outside the country. The gruesome, gory crime of a series of killings of young children, sexual exploitation, and also of some women was something that had shaken the sensibilities of everybody. This story that I am bringing to you today is an untold one related to Nithari. Lots of stories of the Nithari killings are known to people. They were reported in several newspapers, news networks, and all media had their eyes on every development that was taking place. But sometimes there are these smaller stories that get lost in this big coverage of such incidents. And today's story is related to that. It's a story of how the killers were being driven to safety by the police. Yes, that's what it was, and that's why it became a story that I needed to tell as a journalist back then. The fear in the police then, the UP police was investigating the case. The killings happened in Noida, and the fear in the police was such that if these two people, Mohinder Singh Pandher and Surinder Kohli, his domestic help, who were accused of the gory crime, if they were seen in public, they would be lynched. And that's the reason why the police decided to travel 1,000 kilometers from Noida to Ahmedabad in Gujarat, where they were taking these two people, these two accused then, for a narco analysis test. It was decided that they should be taken by road in private vehicles and not in public transport like a flight or a train, because people, co-passengers, could lynch them. This is exactly what the fear was. When I got to know of this story, me and my colleague who were reporting very regularly on the Nithari killings, we thought that this is a story worthy of being told, because it's strange, isn't it, that it's peculiar that the police needs to ensure the safety and security of people accused of such crimes, such a gory crime. But here comes the twist in the story. We reported it. It made it to the front page of the newspaper we were working in back then. This was January 2007. I remember the Nithari killings came to the fore on the 29th of December 2006. It was the end of the year, and when skeletal remains were taken out from the drain outside this house in an upscale Noida residential area, that's when the world got to know about the Nithari killings. And over the next few days, more skeletal remains were dug out as the investigations progressed, and then it was known that the victims are usually children and in some cases young women. Subsequent investigations had revealed that it was a case of sexual exploitation, and then killings took place. And there are lots of stories about Nithari that are known. I will not get into the details of those. I'll quickly come back to the story of the killers being driven to safety. So when we got to know of this, we reported it. This was on the front page the next day. But these are small things that happen in a journalist's career that stay with you for life. So while we reported the story and I felt that we've got a very interesting story, soon the enthusiasm was jolted because it seemed that what I reported along with my colleague appeared to be completely incorrect. And had it been this day and age where there's social media, there is Twitter, and things can be tagged as fake news, perhaps that would have been called fake news back then. So I still remember vividly that morning when the story appeared, and a little later in the day, we had a senior journalist from Aaj Tak who was reporting that Pandher and Kohli are actually traveling in a flight from Delhi to Ahmedabad, and he was sitting in that flight. It was a complete shocker, and within minutes, this story went viral. And I remember getting a call from my boss. I was waiting for that call, and I knew what the question is, what the reason for the call is, and I had nothing to say because it seemed that what we reported had completely gone wrong. Later in the day, when I got back to office, we discussed, why something like this could have happened. Luckily for us, there was just one little glimmer of hope, that we had the investigating officer of the case on record, who we had quoted in our report, saying that they will be taken by car to Ahmedabad, and the time would be around 3-4 in the morning. And we also had his conversation with us recorded on a dictaphone. So there was evidence with us to suggest that we did not cook up a story, and this was something that was told to us on record by the person who is leading the investigation in the case. And then I remember our editor asking us to just find out why the police has lied to us. And I know we were taken aback. We were expecting that there will be a big showdown, and our careers, our jobs could be in fire, because reporting a story which is completely incorrect can be a big problem for any reporter's credibility. And that was one day in my career, very early on in my career, when I thought that it's all over. But because of those perhaps good journalistic practices that we were encouraged by the editors, we had something to show. We had the man on record telling us this, based on which we reported the story. From here onwards, started our quest of knowing what exactly happened, because as reporters, it was very clear to us that there is something amiss. A person will not blatantly lie to us on such a sensitive matter. And then we tried to find out, making frantic calls to a lot of officials, asking what exactly happened, why our story, what we were told, has turned out to be completely incorrect, and nobody was willing to speak to us or give us the truth. And that's when we were getting convinced that there is something more to it, and that's why there are stories behind the story. And while you might have heard so many stories of the Nithari killings, the details of investigations, but this small incident, this small story has virtually gone untold because of a few reasons that I'm going to reveal now. So finally, making a lot of calls, there was one official who agreed to give us the truth. And this was after literally a lot of pestering from my colleague who had been reporting the story with me all throughout. And when she literally begged him that you need to tell us the truth, otherwise our jobs are in trouble, and we might lose our jobs for reporting something which is completely incorrect. And there was one credible senior official who then did tell us what happened. And the stories of Nithari obviously go back to the winter of Delhi, and the stories were as chilling as the winter that year, I remember. The mornings used to be extremely foggy, and this particular story is related to the winter and the fog in Delhi, what I'm going to just tell you now. So the plan was to drive these accused to Ahmedabad, and this was adhered to. The police team that was taking them for the narco analysis left at about 3:34 in the morning, and they had barely, gone out of Delhi, the boundaries of NCR, I would say, and they met with a massive accident. So, this was revealed to us, but on the condition that these details are not going to be reported. This is being told only in good faith, because this is extremely embarrassing, and this would make another very big headline that there was an accident where people could have died. The police officials escorting them could have died, the accused could have died, and that would have been a huge headline all throughout. So at the last moment, because of this accident, because it was extremely foggy, the visibility was very low, this accident took place, and at the last moment there was a change, and the accused Pandher and Kohli had to be taken to Ahmedabad in a flight. Now came the bigger dilemma. We know a lot of details, but what to do? Should we report it? Should we not report it? And finally an editorial decision was taken that we will not say it in as many as words explicitly, but we need to mention somewhere that something happened and there was a last minute change made, and so we did that. And from there onwards, obviously, the narco analysis took place, and the accused came back, and a series of stories related to Nithari killings continued. I continued to report on several of those stories, traveling to Kohli's village in Uttarakhand, speaking to his family. Lots of things emerged as I joined the dots, and I managed to report very extensively on perhaps one of the most gory crimes of recent time, which included sexual exploitation, murders, cannibalism, and while the mystery got solved later, but the cases, the legal process, one can say, is still not over, because remember, there were 16 charge sheets filed by the CBI after the UP police. The case was transferred to the Central Bureau of Investigation, and all those cases obviously have to go through a trial. As per latest reports, I believe 10 of those trials are over, and both the main suspects were also convicted in some cases now, facing death sentence, in fact, are still in jail. They are still in prison. It's been 14 years. Obviously, there's no way that they could get out after such being accused of such heinous crimes. But I thought that, this one story which perhaps has not been told, has got lost in so many other developments, so many other stories that came out related to the Nithari killings, how a plan to drive killers to safety had to be aborted in the last minute. And obviously, I happened to report on it, and then face the dilemma of and the embarrassment rather of reporting this, and then seeing myself going horribly wrong because of these circumstances where the plan was changed last minute. These things happen, these are investigations, very sensitive investigations, and this is what is fascinating about stories related to crime, police and investigations, that you never know what twist, what turn comes at what period of time, at what level, and sometimes there are a lot of puzzles as far as an investigation is concerned, and that's what makes crime stories extremely exciting, extremely thrilling, and we as journalists not just report them but live through them. And this was one of the stories that I have lived through even after 14 years. This will remain a very, very important part of my memory of my journalistic career. We hope you're liking the stories that we bring to you. This was a short and crisp, untold story of the Nithari killings, which I thought I should share with the viewers of Crime Talk in English. Please keep watching us, subscribe to us. I'm noticing that the subscriptions are increasing, but they need to go up even higher. We'll keep bringing to you stories on investigations, crime, criminals, investigators, terrorism, conflict. Keep watching Crime Talk in English.